Hello everybody, this is Darren Redmond for Redmonds, brought to you by FHT Sports and sponsored by the new Cigar Fino. Make sure you find your way this week and every week to Cigar Fino, located right off of Cedar and Nice in Fresno. The new Cigar Fino you're going to really like. Everything you liked about the old Cigar Fino is there, but on steroids. A wonderful, comfortable environment. A place where you're really going to feel at home. Great place for a nice, fine cigar, have something to drink, sit down, talk to friends. Wonderful place for those of you who work remotely, by the way, to work. Come in, set up your laptop, sit down, make your phone calls, do your business, bring over a business client, or just have some fun. This coming Sunday, and you can't say Super Bowl, right? We're going to talk about that some other time. You got to say the big game. It's the big game. It's the big game. If you don't pay enough money to say those two very special words, they're going to bowl you over, potentially in a lawsuit. Even ESPN has to talk about the super week for the big game because you can't say it. Well, are you surprised by a league? And again, I love football and I love the NFL, but are you surprised by a league that put on such a pathetic performance in the Pro Bowl? Pro Bowl for years has been a sideshow, carnival, except not as enjoyable. What was that disaster yesterday? In Orlando, it was raining a little bit. It rains every day in Orlando. And it looked like it was half empty. And even if it wasn't half empty, 3/4 empty, maybe. And that touch football nonsense, well, they can't get hurt. You don't want them to get hurt for a game that doesn't mean anything. Then don't have it. Then don't have it. Here's something you can do. You can fill the stadium with free tickets for underprivileged youth or people living under the poverty line and give those tickets away and let the guys do skills competitions. How about that? Once you do that, you're still going to make your money off of the networks that play that disaster. But when you're playing not even stop motion, it was two-hand touch. I saw a flag football team from a preschool making fun of the tackling that went on yesterday. It was an absolute disaster. And the Jets, that's my sideshow team. Love the Jets, love the Raiders. They actually tweeted out, they put out a Twitter post, how proud they were that one of the Jets got the defensive player of the game for the Pro Bowl. Are you kidding me? There wasn't a tackle. It was basically one-on-one drills, the same kind of drills you do when you're warming up a JV junior high school team. It was horrible to watch. And they're trying to wax poetic. Well, it's fun. No, it's not fun when you're putting offensive players in defensive spots. You're embarrassing the game. That was pathetic. It's pathetic when you have a wide receiver in the NFL. And when you have a wide receiver that you are giving millions of dollars to in the Pro Bowl, who's such a I'm afraid to get wet. You're wearing a hoodie under your shoulder pads. The hoodie's sticking out. You got your helmet on and a hoodie. Are you that intolerant to cold? Are you that much of a prima donna? That was terrible. You're disgracing the game. Now, if you want to have a glorified scrimmage, then tell everybody, we're going to have a scrimmage with the best players in the NFL this year. Just say that. And people will buy it. And go back to my point, give away the tickets. Give away the tickets, not to corporate sponsors, but give it to people that may never see a game. These are the kids, the young kids, people fighting the poverty line, people that are working 2 to 3 jobs. Don't pretend you care because you give away a write-off to nation. Here's something you do. Have a glorified scrimmage, call it as such, scrimmage with the best players in the NFL this year. Get to meet them, maybe not an autograph session, maybe have one, I don't know. And they could run routes, they can do things with blocking dummies, they can just do a lot of different things. And then go out and do some scrimmaging. Go out and scrimmage and call it that. I mean, this is an exhibition game, but it's a disaster. When Mr. Nice Guy Tom Brady mocks, and I don't blame him, the Pro Bowl, I don't blame him. When you have an NFL player who's going to the Pro Bowl, who is so cold in Orlando that he's wearing a hoodie underneath his shoulder pads. Now, I'm fine with it with a baseball player, and I love baseball. When it's April and you're kind of standing around and you got a hoodie on, I get it. But you're a football player with a helmet on. You have a helmet on and a hoodie? Are you kidding me? A helmet and a hoodie. And then they're talking about this was underthrown. These guys don't know the routes. I get it. But it's basically just throw deep and hope for the best. Why are you even giving the ball to the running back? They're more susceptible to injury that way. Because you're not going to tackle them. There's no blocking. And then you have the nerve to put an offensive running back, offensive plays on defense to rush the passer. And you know me, I'm an offensive line guy. When the offensive line is not even trying, and you're going to try to embarrass them that way, it was a disgrace. And I don't care if the AFC won, the NFC won. You know, I remember growing up, you know, when Super Bowl III, when the Jets won, that following week, those guys at the Pro Bowl, and they really played because they want to make that money. You know, I mean, they were all over him. Thank you very much. I remember watching Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw play in the AFC, NFC Pro Bowl, and they kind of really wanted to show each other up a little bit. It was good. They respected each other, but here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. Or running back actually ran. Instead, it's all about agents and long term, and on some level, I mean, I get it, but then just be honest about it, and just call it a glorified scrimmage. It's the best players get together this week for a scrimmage and to give back to the community. And you throw the ball through the hoop, you do this, you do that, whatever the case may be. But that thing was an eyesore. It was an embarrassment. My gosh, it was awful. So you're trying to turn on the next generation with that? With that sideshow, carnival, barker nonsense? Take the money, though. You know, take the money. It was just terrible. And the guy's high-five. I mean, granted, I know it's supposed to be a good time, but I think you know what I'm saying. Be sincere. Be transparent. It was disgusting. I haven't been this upset at the NFL since you made it mandatory for season ticket holders to buy the preseason. The preseason was great because, you know what? For the working staff, working 2 or 3 jobs, trying to get season tickets, they'd get those season tickets. Now you tell them to buy 2 to 3 more games at full rate, where, you know, those games were great too, because I remember before I had I had season tickets since I was a child, but there were times when, you know, people would want to get season tickets, and they didn't have enough money to get season tickets for the Jets or the Giants. So they went to the preseason game, and the kid got to see, I don't know, Richard Todd, Joe Pisarcik. You know, they got to see Brett Favre come and play a series or 2. At least they could say they've seen him live. But you took that out of their hands, you greedy guys. And oh, thank you so much, NFL, for no longer being a not-for-profit. So big of you. And again, I love the NFL. I'm not biting the hand that feeds me. But you know what? It's what it is. That was a disgrace. NHL wasn't much better, but I should take that back. It's not hockey, but it's a wonderful show because it's basically a skills competition. 3-on-3, they tell you what's going on. So much better. You know, the garbage that was in Orlando doesn't even compare to the beauty of what the NHL did. Because basically it's skills competition. You know, and then 3-on-3, kind of overtime hockey without checking. I get it. NBA All-Star Game, same thing. It's not a real game. Major League Baseball is the closest thing. But if you can't even compare the two, that Pro Bowl is a joke. And this is the best of your best. They're wearing a hoodie on the field. A hoodie on the field. Man, was that Pro Bowl just a disaster. Horrible to see. Hey, did I mention Cigar Fino? The new Cigar Fino? Same location. Some of the people that used to be members there. And they've always been a support of hockey. You know that, right? We've done interviews from there, and this is the place to go. The gentlemen that own this place care about not only you as the client, the customer, but they care about providing you a place of rest, a place of relaxation, a place you can go and just talk. You know, we talk about, you know, the old days when you would have a local place where you could sit down and just kind of talk sports, right? Talk news, talk music, whatever the case may be, and have some laughs and sort of that Cheers feeling. That's what you get at Cigar Fino. Now this Sunday for the big game, because you can't say Uber O, but don't put the S and B there if they want to. It might sue you. I don't know, but it's a super week. It'll bowl you over. They're doing a nice buffet, $25, first come, first serve. When you go in this place, you're going to be hooked. And if you're not a cigar smoker, you can still go there and enjoy yourself a great meal, some good people, make a friend, make a business connection. FHT Sports goes there every Monday night, and you never know who you're going to bump in there. And we sit down and we talk sports, and we kind of chart out what you are telling us, giving us some unbelievable feedback. And we have a lot of things in the works for this year. So let's talk a little bit, and I know Serge, the hockey guru, if you haven't watched his show tonight, make sure you watch it. It's always great. But he breaks down their trade with the LA Kings and with the Toronto Maple Leafs and talks about the ramifications and different ways to look at it. So much more than you get from somebody who doesn't really care about hockey. The Nuggets, is it first round draft choice or first round draft choice? I don't know. It's not, what it is, and I thought his analysis was spot on about this trade, and there's going to be a lot more to come. So, very odd, right? So we announced right here on FHT, we were one of the few news organizations, and trust me, there were only maybe Fresno Bee was there, I'm not sure. Let's say they were. Maybe one of the news stations, but FHT was there with the mayor, Lee Brand, and with the owner, Jeff Blair of the Fresno Monsters, and Kevin Kaminsky, their awesome coach. And we were there when we announced that there was the announcement that the Fresno Monsters will be playing all but one weekend at Salon Arena this year. There's still about a month worth of games left, but they're going this really long road trip. So the last two games of the season in Fresno prior to the playoffs will be Thursday at 7:45, Friday at 5:30 at Gateway Ice Center right off of Clinton. If you've never been there, it's kind of like this really cool hockey barn that you're like, really? And you get there and you just feel a ghost. And this is a place that people go to public skate. This is a place where last year's state champions came from, and this year there's a good chance that maybe one or two of our teams will be in contention for that. This is a place that you saw Dylan Manning last year, sorry for mispronouncing, last year break all sorts of scoring records. You saw Cody Key break all sorts of scoring records. You saw so many other things happen there. You saw Danny Goodwin, that's what I was going to say, Goody, but I said, let me use the full name. Danny Goodwin dropped the clubs there and just make some memory. You see Damagala there last year. Well, this is a chance for two nights, Thursday night and Friday night. It's not going to be the Gateway get down, right? And I get it, and great idea. It's going to be a prison riot in a good way, and I don't mean riot off the ice. I mean on the ice. I mean, when you have 300, 400, who knows, people pressed up against the glass, screaming their heads off, that place gets really loud, really, really loud. There's going to be no room to breathe. It's going to be great. And you know what? And these games are important. We want to make sure that the Fresno Monsters, for the last two home games before the playoff run, they know that you're out there. And it's going to be a very weird situation. There may be a situation where people can't get in. But at the same point, don't think it's going to be sold out and not show up. Get there early. Get there early. So, you know what? There might be some other announcements with that game, with those two games coming up as well. But make sure you are there. And, we're very proud of the fact, I'll bring up Cigar Fino one more time. Cigar Fino will be the official sponsor for the next little while of Redmond's Wrap-Up. Very honored about that. They are reaching out to you, the sports fan. There's no better place that I know of, seriously, and I've lived here now 13 years, in Fresno to watch a sporting event than Cigar Fino. Because on nice warm days, everything's open. So it's like that inside-outside feel. And again, if smoking cigars are not your thing, the ventilation system is top-notch. But it has this wonderful selection of cigars, priced right. Come on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m., and there's just this wonderful double pour coffee that's there, and just a great time. And give it a shot. Once you go there, you'll see why people call it home. And they're big sports nuts. They are big Giant fans there. Dodger fans are allowed. Many different TVs, so you watch all the sports, from high school to pros to different sports, different areas. If you've ever been to Manhattan and been in a flat, it's just this one big kind of flat. I mean, that's what it's like. And these wonderful couches, you just kind of sink in, and just good people, and really, one of these places, they're no strangers. And they love sports. And we've got so many sports coming up, right? We have the Frozen Four coming up. We have the NCAA basketball tournament not too far away. We have baseball spring training coming up soon, which is amazing. Got the big run that Serge the Hockey Guru was talking about coming up soon. We've got so much going on at FHT. We have Fresno State basketball. They're having a great year. Stubbed their toe a little bit up in Colorado. So look for a nice rebound game right now. And let's see Saymont full. I don't want to see 3,000 or 4,000 people there and kind of making it sound like a good thing. You have a team that is doing some amazing things right now in conjunction to get maybe an at-large bid, maybe win the Mount West. They're only sitting in second place in Mount West, one game out. Are you kidding me? Nevada game coming up in February, a couple of weeks. Let's go. We've got the Fresno Foxes coming up. Fresno Foxes are coming up soon. Adam Smith's team, he got them even younger. They have a year of USL action under their belt. We have the Washington Nationals AAA farm team, the Fresno Grizzlies. Houston is gone. San Francisco Giants are gone. We have the Washington Nationals here. Who knows? Do they re-sign Bryce Harper? Does he do if he, God forbid, he gets injured? Does he come here for a rehab stint? I don't know. But there's so much going on. That's why FHT is doing what we're doing. And the Hockey Hall of Fame for Fresno, we're already working on next year. Right now, we're working on next year. Who's going in? Who do you think should go in? It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. And last year was just tremendous. I cannot believe that it was over 3 months ago already. Could you believe that? Unbelievably so. So, that's it for tonight. Wanted to really just talk about how pathetic the Pro Bowl was. Can we pull a plug on it, please? Or even better, do what I suggested. Give those tickets away. Do some meet and greets. And maybe have some lottery or something where people can be selected randomly to come down on the field and get some pictures or whatever. And have it just a scrimmage with the best players in the NFL. Just a scrimmage. Call it what it is. Don't pretend it's a football game, because it's not. It's not even an exhibition game. It's pathetic. There was a man on the field playing wide receiver. You know who you are. Wearing a hoodie. Wearing a hoodie. You had running backs playing defense. What an embarrassment to the league. What an embarrassment to the linemen. What an embarrassment to the people that made the Pro Bowl in those positions, and you put running backs in there. Because it's funny. Because you wanted a glad hand. And you wanted to disrespect all of those people who are football purists. Well, let me know what you think. And, again, we want to thank Cigar Fino for sponsoring us. And this is Darren Redmond for Redmond's Wrap Up, brought to you by FHT Sports. Good night.